What is up, everybody? This is Ben, and I am excited. I'm always excited. I love doing this stuff. Today, we're gonna make some sounds. I've been having just a ton of fun with the synth engine, as probably you have been too. That is the new synth engine on the Roland MC-101. If you haven't seen my video about it, do check that out. Or my other video about all of the new stuff on the MC-101 as of the last couple weeks. Before we get into that, I want to say, I know some of you pointed out in my last couple videos that like the camera was shaky and there was some weird stuff going on with the auto exposure on my face. Hopefully I have that stuff worked out now. To be honest, it's just hard to keep stuff steady in my apartment, especially as I gesticulate and stuff. So we've applied some physics. You can see my mic stand that holds my overhead camera is closer than it was before, so there's less of a lever arm. And so if I can avoid bumping it with my chair, I think we'll be in all right shape. So that's nice. I figured out how to stop my iPad from making weird stuff happen to my face. But now we're sort of at the mercy of the clouds outside. Even though I have some lights going on, I'm doing my best, you know? So hopefully this is a little better. If it's not, let me know. If you have ideas on how I can do it better, also let me know. But with that said, let's start making some music. So today I was thinking, someone on YouTube asked me if I could, they said, you know, they're comfortable with the normal sounds that they make, but maybe some like digital lo-fi pads, textural sorts of elements would be nice to see made on the 101. So that's what we're gonna do. I think that sort of thing is really fun. So I'm just gonna go for it. I'll actually right now, let's see what it sounds like at the end. You know, I'm not crazy about that. There we go. So I hope that sounded good. I'm not sure how it sounded, but we'll see. I hope you like it. If you liked it, stick around and let's get into it. So the very first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna load a new project, and I have this project called 00 Init, and what it has is all of the stuff that I like already pre-saved. So it has like my cool scatter sequence that I want, it has my tracks, the colors that I want, it has all of the tracks by default set to clip mode, which means I can have different sounds on different clips, which is really useful, and some various stuff like that, so I don't have to reset stuff up every time. So let's see, like the first thing, maybe we'll lower our tempo a bunch to like get some vibey lo-fi type of sounds, type of experience. So I can have this going. Now, so I don't know if I've pointed this out before, I have an oscilloscope up here, hopefully, if everything is recorded appropriately, and I have this other thing over here that just shows the spectrum of the sounds. Both of these are FL Studio Wave Candy effects that I'm just recording in OBS while I'm making the video. So hopefully they're useful for you to understand what's going on with the sound. Even if they're not, I hope they at least kind of look pretty and that's nice for you. If you don't like it, you can let me know. If you do like it, you can let me know. But that's not the point, right? So let's just get a little bit of a beat going, perhaps something like maybe this. Just turning the volume up a little bit. Cool. So that's nice. And now I just want to make something that really like, almost like a drone that you can put behind that has movement and texture and, you know, that sort of thing. So I have my launchpad over here connected. I might try to stay on the 101, though it's harder for me to play like spread chords and stuff. But if I, let me see. If we just set it maybe to a minor scale and transpose it to, what's a good key? E? D. This is D, or C sharp, D, D sharp, E. That should be an E then, right? E, right? This is E. Perfect. All right. Oops, we don't want that on the sequence. Great. Okay. So once you have a scale picked, you know, you just play every other note, and it's the chord that you want. Oopsie daisy. So yeah, so we've got that. We got some drums. We got our notes. Let's get into sound design. So we're gonna hit Shift, Sound, Partial, while we're on our init tone, because that's easiest, I think. So let's go. So oscillator 1, let's start with a PCM sound. We're gonna go bank 8. Now I happen to know that I'm partial to some of these flutes that are down here. The sort of PCM wind stuff. Where is it? It's around here. Yeah. So I used one of these for my like Strawberry Fields Mellotron patch. I think they sound really good. The recorder, they got a bassoon. There's some like flutes and stuff through here too. I really like these recorders though. So let's, I don't want that one. That's better. Recorder 2. Sousaphone's kind of nice. So it's fun, you can just scroll this way. I'm just holding a key down. You just find something you want. So I might go back to those. I was thinking of something different, I thought. Now we're getting into some noise. This is not gonna play all of them. Right. Blowpipe. That's cool. I like that. Okay, cool. So we're gonna use that as our first oscillator. I'm gonna give this a little bit of analog feel. Just a little warble. Yeah, sounds nice. A little more maybe? That's maybe too much. Alright, that sounds cool, I think. So, let's do oscillator 2. Maybe I want, what do we want for oscillator 2? We can do another PCM, I think. Let's go, maybe we'll go back to that recorder I heard earlier. Well, this isn't on yet, that's fine. Oh, you know what? I kind of like that. Let me turn off oscillator 1 so we can hear that. Cool, I like those. Let me just go oscillator 1 back on. Together. Got some nice textures going on there. We're gonna add some modulation and stuff, don't worry. But first, maybe oscillator 3. I think this, I like this for this sort of thing. I like to add like a sub oscillator with something, so we can leave that virtual analog, turn it on. Did I turn it on? Virtual analog, oh, it's triangle wave. Now it's easier to hear. But we're gonna lower it, say 12. That wasn't 12, was it? And then we're gonna lower the level. I might lower it another, maybe to 24. I'm just playing over here on the launch pad. It's easier to get those like spread notes from that. But you can do it here. I just don't know my chord shapes here. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Now we're gonna come over here, we're gonna turn ADSR mode on. And let's see what we want to do. So the first thing is I want to, on partial 3, I would like to lower the cutoff. But maybe I want it to like rise in a little bit with the cutoff. So let's lower the cutoff a little more. Turn the envelope depth up. Let's just turn it up all the way. No, I don't want to turn it up all the way necessarily. That's fine for the moment. But the filter, again, just for partial 3. You can hear that. Cool. I maybe don't want it to come in that far. And maybe I want the sustain down a little. Something like that. So yeah, it gives it that like driving weight as it comes in. I think that sounds cool. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. So actually I want to bring all of them in more slowly, but I want them to come in slightly different. I'm just thinking. I think that's okay. I'm gonna put on some release to the 2 higher sounds. So yeah, that stays. So let's do that on the second one too. I like how like in this register, that saw wave is a little bit like brassy sounding. That sounds cool. It's extra texture. If you don't know, I wiggle my finger like this because it makes it sound better in my head. It doesn't make it sound better in my ears or in the speakers or in your ears, but in my head it sounds better. So I'm already kind of liking how this sounds. It's got some nice like glassiness on top. And yeah, like I think it sounds pretty good. I'm just gonna change the attack of this sound a little bit. This is the choir sound. And then maybe I'm gonna increase this attack a little bit on partial 3, which is the saw wave. Cool. Actually, maybe I want to lower the attack a little bit of the choir, so you just have more going on right when you hit it. It's a little bit easier to pick out melodies that way. This is my process. This is just, I don't know, this is just how I do it. I hope it's useful. I hope it's not super boring. If it is, let me know in the comments. So, next up, I'm gonna try to add some stuff going on, right? So we're gonna go with the LFO. So I'm just gonna start on partial 1, and we are gonna look at what options we have. So we have random, which moves around randomly. We have sample and hold, which selects values. It's like a random, kind of like a random square wave, I guess. Like it's just picking a value for some amount of time, picking a new value, some amount of time, picking a new value, and staying there. Whereas like the random one is actually like just moving. And then there's also this other, but chaos. Chaos sounds bad to me in most of the things I use it for, to be honest. I don't know how to use it appropriately yet, so I'm not going to use it. But variable sign, I talked about this in the other one. This, like, it goes up a little bit. It's a sine wave with a repeatable with like a period, but it changes its level each time. Which maybe you can see that actually. I might have shown it on a different one, a different video, but like if I just assign it to pitch and lower the rate. Yeah, you can see it here. It's not super easy to see because it's only one of the partials, right? All right, so we've got the pitch varying a little bit on our first oscillator. Now we can go to oscillator 2 and maybe give it some sample and hold. Maybe apply it to, we can apply it to the filter depth perhaps. Just a little. I bumped this. That's okay. Sample and hold. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Just makes it shimmer, shake a little bit, which I think sounds nice. I think that sounded pretty nice. Let's go now to the other one, the other high one, LFO 1. Maybe this one is the other way. So we go this sample and hold to pitch just a little bit. A lot. You get weird stuff that way. None of that's quantized, right? So very strange stuff possible if you're into that sort of thing. So I'm gonna solo that, just gonna turn off. Maybe, you know, maybe we don't do that to pitch. Maybe we give it to pan. I have two, we've got stereo right now. So you can hear that if you got headphones, probably. Maybe we give that a little bit of pan and a little bit to filter. Like the teeniest bit to pitch. I think that's nice. I think it feels just a little bit of motion, right? Oh, you know what? Was I on the wrong thing? I was on the wrong thing. I still think it sounds nice. But let's go back to LFO 1. So LFO 1, let's give it just a little bit of pitch depth to envelope 1, a little bit of filter depth. That's just so I can hear the rate. I turn that all the way down more easily. So already, I mean, that's just with one voice, and we can make quite a bit of motion. I do a lot of stuff in mono, like for live stuff, so I don't always think about stereo. I should, but I don't. But I'm going to turn on the other partials, 1 and 3. I think that sounds not terrible, but I think we can probably do a little bit better. So let me give oscillator 3 perhaps. LFO1 maybe, I have this idea, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Variable sine to the filter. Like slower. So if I do like, say, I mean, I think that sounds kind of cool. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. And maybe, ooh, check this. Maybe LFO2, maybe we give that also a separate variable sign. And that can go to, you know what it is. Pulse width modulation. It's tricky for me. But if you turn off pulse width mod, this is automatically linked to LFO2. But the saw wave will just go from a saw to a triangle, so it'll sound like you're modulating the filter. So I'm going to lower the rate of that. All right, now let's see if I can add on just a little bit of sparkle. Now I've heard potentially that LFO, or that like using the partial editor, like it's sort of linked from 3 and 4, which might be a bug. Let's find out. I'm not actually sure. I haven't tried it. Partial switch on. I'm gonna do something silly and obvious so that we know. Definitely has some stuff going on. But if I take LFO2 and apply it to pitch just on 4, to me that doesn't sound like it's linked to 3. So maybe I'm wrong about that and you can just ignore it. But if I let me turn off the other ones to make sure. So what I have is LFO2 on 4 is linked to pitch. And if LFO3 were linked to pitch, it's not. But if it were, it would sound like this. So let's turn that back off. Okay, cool. So the LFO2 at least doesn't seem linked to it. Maybe there's something with the envelopes. I'm not sure. But in any case, I'm going to use this. I'm going to pick Maybe digital vox. I do not want link pitch depth. Say random. No, say sample and hold perhaps. And link that to filter heavily. Alright, now what does that sound like with 1 and 2 turned on? Alright, here's what I want to do though. The filter... Cool, and then the LFO I want to fade in. So it's like that stuff fades in, right? Is this the right filter? Filter depth minus 100. Ooh, do I want it to go the other way now? Oh, I thought that only went to like 200. It goes a lot higher. Maybe filter depth needs to be lower. There we go. That's what I want. Very cool. Okay. So sorry if I wasn't talking too much through there, but all I was trying to do was get that partial to like fade in with those blips. And the trick was the fade in on LFO2, it's sample and hold. The fade in goes a lot higher than like 100. So I thought that at 80 it should be doing a lot, but it wasn't. And then the other trick was the filter depth couldn't be too high because it was blowing it out immediately. But yeah, so those are the 4 partials. Reasonably happy with how they sound, I think. Do you know what it reminds me of? When I was a kid and I would go to the drugstore with my mom, they had... I don't know what it was for, but they had like headphones and you could put them on and there was like a board in front of you and you could like click stuff and it would play like nature sounds or some nonsense. I have no idea what it was called, what it was for, if it was just a one drugstore thing that I happened to go to. But it was weird and this reminds me of that and that makes me feel good and I'm happy about it. But that's just the partial. We're on the MC-101. We've got other stuff. So the first thing we have is hit exit a couple times, and then we got this reverb send. Let's give it some reverb. Already, pretty nice, pretty nice. And then we hit shift sound again, and we scroll over to multi-effects, and we've got everything. You want to put some EQ on, well actually you have EQ on the track anyway, right? So you could put the enhancer on, or the exciter even. Oh, it's very trebly. We could put all sorts of, we could put a speaker sim on. Right? But I'm actually gonna go for maybe a chorus for this sort of thing. And we've got our stereo today, so that's good. That's just, it sounds so full. right? I mean, it just sounds humongous. You could even, what does it sound like if we throw on our brand new, oh, where did it go? There it is, phonograph. That maybe pulls a little bit of the fullness out of it, but you know, you got a lot of options. I'm gonna go over to chorus, maybe. Was it this one I liked a lot? Let's do that. Let's just leave that on its default settings. And yeah, I mean, let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. You know, I'm not crazy about that. There we go. Actually, let's put like a saturator on the multi, perhaps. This is a wet dry knob, and then how much saturation. I like this in Master Effect sometimes. So, I mean, yeah, like, I think that sounds pretty cool. Yeah, I hope that's what you were looking for when you suggested a lo-fi pad sound. That's it. That's what I got. If you like it, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. If you like the camera work or you don't like the camera work, let me know. I'm just trying to figure stuff out here, you know. But I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out. And I will see you next time. Oh, and let me know if there's any other sounds you want me to make. I had fun. Thanks.
I'm feeling guilty for no other reason but going through motions to make the ends metering. My sensibilities die on the daily, and I took up smoking 'cause I can't